Welcome everyone to another edition of Willow's Weather Briefing. Today is Monday, June 2nd, 2025. Today we have a slight risk of severe thunderstorms across the high plains into southwestern Minnesota. We also have a slight risk of excessive rainfall from northeast Colorado into southwest Minnesota. And also we have wildfire smoke that's sort of persisting along here in the upper Midwest from Canada. That wildfire smoke is still impinging onto our area, particularly for the upper Midwest. Below average temperatures for much of the northeast Ohio Valley, desert southwest and northern plains, with above average temperatures across the central to southern plains and Midwest. Right now, we have a cold front situated over here around the northern plains, northern Rockies, which will slowly migrate southeastward, bringing drastic temperature changes throughout the early week. We also have this spinning low pressure system over here in the desert southwest, bringing some moisture into these regions over here. Otherwise, pretty quiet across the United States. Here is our current drought monitor map. The solid lines demarcate the areas of greatest concern. Here's our current watches and warnings. Currently have air quality alerts over portions of Minnesota because of that wildfire smoke, and we also have a red flag warning over here in the western UP of Michigan. Also a red flag warning over here in the Northern California Valley. We also have a flood watch for flood-prone areas in northern New Mexico over here. So here's our surface map. Our main story is the battle between this pushing cold front to the southeast and also the high pressure to the east. Cold front in the northern plains, northern Rockies will slowly make its way southeastward, bringing some severe weather over here in these areas and also some flash flooding concerns because of how slow moving the cold front is. It's going to cause a bit longer periods of time where we get those high rainfall rates. Day 2 tomorrow, we have that cold front slowly pushing off to the southeast, trying to battle that high pressure, and we have an additional flooding and severe risk over here. This entire time, we also have no risk over here in the higher elevations of the Rockies. Day 3, that cold front still continues to push slowly to the southeast, but will begin to stall around here in the southern plains, which will bring disturbed weather and flash flooding concerns in these regions as well. Here is our excessive rainfall outlook. Today, we have a slight risk over northeastern Colorado to southwest Minnesota. We expect this to bring 1 inch per hour rainfall rates and totals that could exceed 3 inches in this area. You also have another slight risk down here in southern Florida associated with more tropical moisture, with accumulations around 3 to 6 inches, with locally higher amounts with any areas of training convection. Here is day 2, slight risk over northern Texas to the Illinois, Iowa, Missouri triple point. We do expect around 3 to 5 inches of localized totals around southern Florida. And over here, we expect totals that could exceed 3 inches as well over here. On day 3, we have a marginal risk, vast marginal risk from the desert southwest around Las Vegas all the way up to Canada in these regions. This is associated, of course, with the stalling cold front that could bring a widespread area of precipitation, as well as a marginal risk down here for the Atlantic coast over here due to lingering tropical moisture. On day 4, Thursday, we have a slight risk over the Red River regions associated with the stalling front and continued advection of that Gulf moisture northward. Similar thing for day 5, but the front is progged to lift north just a little bit, so that slight risk is demarcated there to reflect that. Here's our fire weather outlook. Elevated fire risk over the northern California Valley. Otherwise, pretty quiet when it comes to fire weather. at least for the near future. So here is our SPC severe weather outlook. We have a slight risk from northern Texas up to the Illinois, Wisconsin, Iowa border. This includes cities like DFW area, Oklahoma City, Kansas City, and also Davenport, Iowa. This is primarily for a damaging wind and large hail threat. Large hail threat is going to be pretty much exclusive to the southern sector of this regime. Tornado threat pretty low throughout this region. Wouldn't be surprised to see a small concentrated upgrade to this 2%, perhaps to a 5%. I just realized that that was tomorrow. Today's severe weather outlook is from the um, portions of the high plains associated with this dry line down here up to this southwest Minnesota region. This is primarily, again, the hazards don't really change from tomorrow, primarily damaging wind and large hail threat. Tornado threat is exclusive, or at least greatest, in the northern sector of this area. On to day 3 now. Marginal risk over here around the eastern Great Lakes region associated with that cold front moving towards the southeast. Marginal risk down here towards the dry line. Looking at our extended range, that stall front is expected to bring some severe weather over here in these regions, such as the Texas Panhandle up to southern Kansas. This includes cities such as Lubbock, Amarillo, Enid, Dodge City. Unsure about the specific hazards associated with this risk, but we're going to assume that it's probably going to be large hail and damaging wind, since there isn't really any robust surface response associated with this just yet. But we'll see how the near future models handle this risk area. Looking at the heat risk, pretty mild day throughout the U.S., above average temperatures for much of the Midwestern regions, as well as Texas. And heat will slowly deplete in the Midwest due to that pushing cold front. You can kind of see it on this heat risk map. As that cold front pushes east, of course, we will see lower temperatures. So the main concern for heat will be late this week into the weekend, where we will see, again, higher temperatures across the southern United States, particularly southern Texas until Louisiana, where we will see temperatures into the high 90s, not depleting overnight. Overnight, probably reaching just to the high 70s. And of course, with how humid it is down here, heat indices will probably reach almost 110 degrees, perhaps surpassing 110 degrees in these regions. So another heat wave upcoming for these southern regions near the Gulf Coast. Here's our 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, above average for much of the United States except the center of the United States, where we'll see below average temperatures. Here's our 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook, above average for much of the southeastern United States, below average for the northwestern United States. Here is our HREF output. Let's look at our timing of our storms in the high plains and northern plains as well. So it looks like storms will form off the dry line first. There's some storms forming off that cold front pretty early on in the northern plains, but it looks like our storms along the dry line will fire first, possibly around 2 to 3 p.m. around those regions in Texas and the Panhandle of Oklahoma, that vicinity. We'll probably see thunderstorms scattered, very scattered initially along the cold front at around the same period of time. But there comes to a point where you get enough heating that it just bursts with convective activity along that cold front. And since that cold front is pretty slow moving, and we have quite a bit of forcing because of our temperature gradient, we will see quick upscale growth in that region by the late afternoon to early evening, possibly 3 to 5 p.m., I would say, is your time frame for storms up in the northern sector. So that is going to be it for today's weather briefing. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe. Of course, if you want any specific information regarding your area, please refer to your local National Weather Service or broadcast meteorologists. Thank you and have a great day.